creature from the Black Lagoon, and I have it in a hologram test. And I'm going to show you a problem that is pretty common on these. You can see the hologram. This one, the lower third of the hologram is actually missing. It's deteriorated, and he's also turned from green. I always, people ask me, what's the good color? Green, good, blue, bad. So he's pretty blue, and it's just not looking good. Here, let me lift the playfield and show you under the playfield. For comparison, here's a different creature. This one's actually pretty good as far as holograms go. It's not bad. I mean, this is about as good as you're going to get on a game that's 20 years old. But you can see the full length of the body on this guy. As a comparison, here's a new old stock hologram I bought from Williams. You can see how the guy is like totally green. Green is good, blue, bad. But you can see the difference between these. This one, of course, is not installed in the game. I bought this from Williams, and when the parts department was still open, I think it cost me $18. And today they're obviously a little more expensive. Here's on the bottom board where you see the lamp projector is back there, and then we've got like a moving mirror here, which is what projects up to the hologram, which is under the playfield here. And you can see the whole bottom third of this one is just gone completely dark. It's pretty bad. And there's also another motor underneath here, which makes the creature hologram bend a little bit as the whole thing moves, and you can see it do that right about there. You can see it kind of pulse. So that's what makes the whole hologram thing move. But the problem is, of course, this hologram's in really bad shape. And what do you do when the hologram looks as awful as this one does? There's not a lot you can do, because new holograms aren't really available. So we're going to try something different that's just starting to become available. So here's the replacement for the hologram. It's an LCD screen face down, and we've got this mounting bracket. There's a couple washers that go there. This goes here with a couple screws. Both washers go there, and then we can mount this thing. We're ready to put the apparatus in, which is our LCD screen, and with our bracket installed, and put it in the game. So step one is to disconnect this connector and then remove all this hardware. All the mechanism for the original hologram comes off. I think you also take the shroud off. I think you get a new shroud. So we're going to do all that right now. So our creature is removed. God, you can just see how bad condition this is. Look at all the scratches up here. This thing is terrible. Man, I can barely see the creature as I move him. Man, that's pretty awful. It's a pretty heavy mechanism, though, this whole apparatus. But this we're not going to be using. While we got all this stuff apart, I took out the window, and this one's pretty scratched up. See if I can get a better gloss out of it. These don't flame polish very well, so what I did instead is I took some 2000 grit sandpaper and sanded it. And then I got this stuff this guy gave me by McGuire's. It's for like clear plastic cleaner and polish. It's for headlights, you know, like these things in your headlights. So I put a nickel-sized dollop on this thing, and then they give you this little polishing cloth here, and you can go freaking nuts polishing this thing, and it actually came out pretty good. It's not brand new, but I'm kind of happy with it. Oh, by the way, I bolted it to the table. Just used a couple screws and mounted it so it can't go flying off. That's always a helpful thing. Hopefully you get a table that you can bolt it to. Since we're monkeying with this window, I got to polish both sides. It actually came out pretty darn good, as we talked about before. But I peeled the stickers out, and then I just used some lighter fluid and removed the adhesive from inside the window, because the stickers actually go on the inside, and then also from the face of the two stickers. Then I've got this stuff here, which is this 3M 467 high performance adhesive. It's a double-sided adhesive. Basically, I take these and I lay it down on this stuff like so, trim it with a pair of scissors, because these ones had air bubbles in them and they look pretty bad. This stuff really fixes it up. Got the first one in place. Here's the second one with the 3M paper on it. I just peel it back. You see how I cut it out from that roll of tape, and because it's double-sided. Just using the existing 3 screws there from the old hologram, kind of mount this thing in there. I think that's all it required. You know, there's something about this little light board you got to be careful. You can get it really close, but you don't want it to get in the way there. But other than that, it goes in there pretty nicely. Yep, and we just get the playfield leaning up against the back glass to do that. I don't say it in the instructions, but this wire kind of goes down the length of the playfield. Excuse Eric, he's swearing in. Goes back there, and we're going to connect the wiring up down there. So I got the playfield pulled back, and then this is the projector back here, and I disconnected the projector light, and then in the harness here that's running under the playfield, you have to hook up this little connector to here, but you could do it 2 ways, and you don't want to get it wrong. The blue wire on this guy has to line up with the blue wire on that guy, and there's even a little warning label here. If you hook it up wrong, you'll blow up the LCD projector, and you obviously don't want to do that. Actually, they have that warning. I don't really see how you can have that reversed, but maybe you can, but I don't see how it could be because the connector's kind of keyed. But the blue wire's got to go together. Blue top, blue top. After you have that blue wire connector thing hooked up all there, you kind of route this white cable all the way up here to the front coin door area. And there's the coin door interface board, and you pull off this connector here. You plug this new connector in, right like that. And then it's got like a double X Molex thing, and then you plug this on top of that, and you're kind of good to go. And then you can kind of route this extra cable. They kind of gave you a couple miles extra cable for that. The big caution here is that if you notice, the LCD screen hangs down lower than the playfield rest bars. So when you slide the playfield out, you could damage this if you're not careful. As the playfield comes down, yeah, look, it can kind of, it just barely clears it. Wow. Not by much, but it does clear it. So you just kind of got to be careful when you lower the playfield. They give you a nice new plastic shroud, and we can mount that right here where the old one goes, with some with the original mounting screws. Probably should have put the shroud in before I mounted this. It would have been a lot easier. Another interesting thing is that you can select the SD RAM on and put in an SD RAM card with a single MP2 file on there, and you can play your own movie instead of the one that's internal to the LCD screen, which is kind of cool. First time boot up, turn it on, you know, kind of like some kind of initialization. So you're supposed to go in a test, and go to the hologram test, and they're saying, oh my,
there it is.
Wow. Oh, that's kind of neat.
That's pretty vivid.
It is. It's kind of getting a glare here. Do me a favor, shut off the overhead lights for a minute. Let's see how he looks.
It looks like it's computer graphics.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I think I like that. It's a little fuzzy through the camera. He doesn't really look that fuzzy in real life. But, so that's what happens when you, okay, so let's exit this. Oh yeah, and then he's off. And then I go in, and there he is doing his thing again. Huh. That's kind of wild. Alright, go turn the light back on for a second. So we've got it so that the flashers are going. So we just got to find the creature to get multi-ball. Okay, so then it does its little multi-ball thing. But now you can see how all the searchlights are on. So we got our 2-ball multi-ball going, but we got to actually find the creature in one of the 3 holes.
Nope.
It's not that one. So then it leaves me this one and the middle one. Put it in the middle one. Oh yeah, look, it's a middle one. There he is. There's that glare again though, but there he is. So we're playing it and we got it in multi-ball, and then he comes on, you know, so yeah, hide the glare a little bit. So that's kind of cool, you know. It's certainly better than the original hologram, that's for sure, you know, but that's cool. Yeah. Oops, ball search. But
what
yeah,
I
that's
find
cool.
interesting is that your camera makes him look very monotone. Like
Yeah, and he's really not. He's really not monotone. He's really, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
The video of the video just isn't really coming through very well. You know, not as well as you're like, okay, so now I'm going to lose the ball. So now we're down to 1, and then he should go off, and he does. So once you lose the ball, so, that's kind of cool. In conclusion, the instruction manual was pretty good for this. I think there's a couple things that maybe he'd change. Like, he didn't talk about mounting the shroud anywhere in here, and I think that should have been mentioned. And also the routing of the wiring. But other than that, his manual's pretty good. This thing where you can use the SD card and make your own movie in there, I think that would be really cool, that you can do your own movie. But overall, this is a pretty neat product. Way better than this piece of junk hologram. I mean, that thing is just shot. Oh my God. It's just wasted. Yeah, that thing is bad. But, you know, overall, this is pretty cool.